the main part of the tree that's coming out of the ground directly, that's your bounce rock groove, your foundations. Okay? The branches that are stemming out from the central part of the tree are your textures. Okay? It's the same move, different textures makes it different moves. It's just different variations of that same move. Okay? So you can do the same move 5, 10, 15 times with different textures and different timing. And there you go. You just got 15 new moves. What's going on, fam? Welcome to The Movement, where we discuss all things dance, life, and this profound, powerful dance through life. Whether you're a dancer, a little klutzy, or just a lot of curious, this show is all levels friendly, baby. So lace up and let's go. You know that feeling you get when you want to dance and live life to the fullest, but you're paralyzed and you can't bring yourself to move. You can't bring yourself to dance and mingle freely. That feeling of, I must forewarn everyone that I have 2 left feet just to lower the expectations and decrease the chances of complete embarrassment. I know that feeling all too well, because that is exactly who I used to be. Then through dance, I learned how to connect mind and body and to decrease that voice in my head that was so concerned about what others thought about me. I learned to increase the positive language as I spoke to myself and changed the course of my entire life dramatically. I want to help you overcome that same exact thing. Each week, I'll be holding a live class session where you will learn how to become the most confident version of yourself in dance and in life, while being able to ask any questions you have in a community of others just like yourself. Go down to hasdancecamp.co. That's hasdancecamp.co. I'll drop the link down in the description. I look forward to seeing you and building with you. Now let's get back to the show. What's going on? Thank you so much for taking the time out of your lovely Wednesday afternoon to join me here on The Movement. That's not spelled Movement. That is spelled Move semicolon. I think it's a semicolon. All caps Meant. Why? Because it's not about the movement. It don't matter if you do jumping jacks. It don't matter if you do hopscotch. It don't matter how you wave, wiggle, or jiggle. It is about what the move meant. What does that move mean to you? And we're back with another episode. I don't know currently what episode this is. Maybe it's 13. I think it's episode 13. So we're 13 weeks strong into this, being consistent, practicing consistency and accountability. Because with dance, the only way to get better is with consistency and accountability, holding yourself accountable for practicing and making sure you dance at least a couple of minutes each day, because even that 60 to 120 seconds, it does make a huge difference. If you see me looking over here to the left, it's because I'm on live, and I got live viewers. I'm going to answer questions live. And if you see me look over here to the right, you already know what it is. I'm talking to the camera. So how's everybody doing? I hope your day is going fantastic. Mine is. I can't hear out of my right ear right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just too early for my body. My body's not handling it well. Anywho, we're going to dive right in. I want to try a new format for the show. So whenever I have guests, the episodes will be a bit longer. So around like 45, 60 minutes plus, depending on how good the conversation is and how much wisdom they are just dishing out. When it is me riding solo, some of the episodes are going to be about 15 to 20, 25 minutes max kind of a show. This way I can give you all of the things you need, all of the things that you're coming here for, and you can keep on pushing throughout your day. So let me know what you think about the format, and if it works best for you. I'm going to try it for about 4 weeks straight. Give me feedback, comment section if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Instagram Live, send messages, DMs. Let me know what you think about the format and the time. And how long do you like your podcast and talk show episodes to be? Let me know so I can provide the most valuable show possible. Diving right in. Today's topic is, how do I get out of my head? How do I overcome mental blocks and stop repeating moves? Step one, this is an obvious one, is you must practice your foundations. I know if you watch the past few episodes, I constantly mention practicing your foundations. By practicing your foundations, you're able to build off of them. By practicing your bounce, by practicing your rock, by practicing your groove, you're able to draw an infinite amount of possibilities from this. Now, it's not simply just practicing your foundations, right? So I want to give you something that you can apply directly. Okay? So, what I want you to do is I want you to practice your foundations. So, practice your bounce, your rock, your groove, right? And practice texture. Okay? Practice your bounce, rock, groove, and then practice texture. So, texture it can be sharp. So, descriptive words like sharp or soft, smooth, flow, jagged, bouncy, things like this that add texture to your movements so they're not all just the same vibe, the same energy. Yeah, so it's really just that simple. I don't know, like, my mind wants to make it more complicated than it is, but it's really not that complicated, y'all. Practice bounce, rock, groove. Again, if you need demonstrations of what these particular techniques look like, go to my YouTube page, Melvin AC Howell. I have some examples there, and I'm going to be posting some more examples, maybe not today, but definitely tomorrow. There will be some individual videos on my YouTube, probably YouTube Shorts, of bounce, rock, and groove. So that way you can get bouncing, rocking, and grooving. And then we want to add textures to those, okay? Whenever you add texture to the simplicity of your foundations, it creates variety. Okay, a lot of the times we run out of moves because we're just mimicking something that we saw without the understanding of the foundation from which it originates. When you don't understand where something comes from, you can only mimic what you've seen, and that makes you feel limited. It makes you feel like you don't have any other moves. You use that one wave, and you feel like that's it. That's the only wave pattern that you can do because you don't understand the foundation of waving. Yeah, with flowing, maybe you've seen floor work or a particular flow combo done or that you've learned in a class, and you don't understand the foundation of that flow or the technique of that flow. Therefore, you can only do, or you feel like you can only do that one pattern, that one combo. So practice your foundations. By having foundations, it gives you an arsenal of moves. Adding texture multiplies those moves. Okay, let me see if I can give this to you, like give you a visual, but through words. Okay, so think of okay, let's just use a tree. We all know what a tree looks like. If you don't, get outside of nature more. So we have a tree. It comes up from the ground, right? Forget the roots. It comes up from the ground. From there, you have branches, larger branches that stem out from that tree. From those larger branches, you have smaller branches that branch out from there. The foundations bounce, rock, groove are the tree, the original tree. That the what is it called? I don't know tree terminology, but the main part of the tree that's coming out of the ground directly, that's your bounce, rock, groove, your foundations. Okay? The branches that are stemming out from the central part of the tree are your textures. Okay? It's the same move, different textures makes it different moves. It's just different variations of that same move. Okay? So you can do the same move 5, 10, 15 times with different textures and different timing, and there you go. You just got 15 new moves. Yeah? That's as simple as I can put it. Step number 2, experiment with unusual movement. Okay? Another reason that we end up with a mental block or feeling like we're creatively blocked is because we use the same move patterns and we listen to music the same way, we visualize music and movement the same way, and we dance to the same music the same way. Move unusually. This is what's allowed me to expand my creativity and expand my range of motion and movement and flow. And it's really helped me become a much, much stronger dancer. Is whenever I go into the lab, whenever I go train and practice, I experiment and I push myself to dance in ways that don't feel comfortable. I push myself to dance in new ways, move in new ways, and it creates new thought patterns. So then when I hear new music, I'm able to combine the new things, the new pathways of movement with the old pathways of movement, and it creates a hybrid. So now I have 3 new ways of moving my body to the same music that I would dance to before, as well as tons of other types of music, genres, artists, sounds, so on and so forth. So experiment with unusual movement. Yep. Not last question. Last step. Step number 3, and then I'm gonna go to our questions. You know that feeling you get when you want to dance and live life to the fullest, but you're paralyzed and you can't bring yourself to move. You can't bring yourself to dance and mingle freely. That feeling of, I must forewarn everyone that I have 2 left feet just to lower the expectations and decrease the chances of complete embarrassment. I know that feeling all too well because that is exactly who I used to be. Then through dance, I learned how to connect mind and body and to decrease that voice in my head that was so concerned about what others thought about me. I learned to increase the positive language as I spoke to myself and changed the course of my entire life dramatically. I want to help you overcome that same exact thing. Each week, I'll be holding a live class session where you will learn how to become the most confident version of yourself in dance and in life, while being able to ask any questions you have in a community of others just like yourself. Go down to hasdancecamp.co. That's HAS dancecamp.co. I'll drop the link down in the description. I look forward to seeing you and building with you. Now let's get back to the show. This is the last step, okay? So number 1, first and foremost, you have to practice foundations. Because if you try to skip step 1 and you don't practice your foundations, number 2 really ain't going to make too much sense because you're just going to be moving all willy-nilly and it's not going to make sense to you because you don't have the foundations to understand what you're doing, right? Because dance is a language. Dance is about communication and storytelling and so many other things, but most importantly, dance is a language. If you don't understand the words that you're using in this language, it's not going to make sense. All right? Step 1, practice your foundations. Step 2, experiment with unusual movement. Step 3, make it fun by adding character. Add character. Adding character helps you lower your walls of personal expectation, which in turn allows you the freedom and mind space to explore new characters, attitudes, and stories. By exploring new characters and new mindsets, new stories, new personalities, and vibes, whenever you dance, it really paints a totally different picture of the music, and it helps you to be more vulnerable, but in a sense of just really going for it, if that makes sense. Adding character to your dance not only makes it more entertaining and more fun for you, but then it gives you a concept. Whenever you have a concept, your movement now has focus, which then can even give you a story naturally. When your movement doesn't have character, it's fine. You don't have to have character. You can just be raw and real and just dance and move. That's fine. But whenever you add character, it gives a focus and a concept for your movement, which makes it more intentional and it makes it more purposeful. So then, oftentimes, it's less likely that you run out of moves because you're dancing based off of this character. Yeah, that's it. Step one, practice your foundations. Bounce, rock, groove, and practice adding textures to these foundational moves. Step two, experiment with unusual movement. Try new things. Push yourself to move in ways that are uncomfortable or that are new to you, that you're unfamiliar with, to create new pathways of thought and new abilities and an extended range of creativity when it comes to being able to illustrate the music in different ways. And step three, make it fun. If it's not fun, there's no way to maintain consistency and accountability or longevity when it comes to dancing, especially if you want to become a better dancer. That's it. Now we got a couple questions. And question number one is from Stardust Mine. I don't know your real name, Stardust Mine. So if you want me to shout the real name out, let me know your name. But from Stardust Mine, they asked, where'd it go? They asked, where did you originally start your dance training? Stacy, thank you. Stardust Mine has been revealed as Stacy. What's up, Stacy? Thank you so much for the question. I originally started my dance training just wherever. So, quite literally in the streets. Self-taught street dancer. I got into hip hop through watching You Got Served. That was my very first dance movie, and it like changed the trajectory of my life. Like I saw that, I learned all the choreography. I ran that choreography every single day. And then I learned how to freestyle in between the choreography scenes. So it was crazy. And because I grew up in poverty, I couldn't afford studios or classes. And the town that I grew up in, there's a bee, y'all. And y'all know I don't like bees. The town I grew up in was so small. I promise you, it's literally only 2 stop signs long. There are no stoplights even. They even actually took it off the map. All right, so that's irrelevant. But dance wasn't a thing. And there was this toxic culture where only girls danced. And if you were a boy and you were dancing, then you were considered like feminine or gay from like a negative standpoint. 1 second. I'm going to let this truck pass real quick. All right, cool. There we go. And so just anywhere I could dance, I would dance. I would dance at home, I would dance battle. Like, I would call people out. People would call me out. I remember there was one time, rode the bus to school. As soon as I got on the bus, this kid was haggling me, bro. He was just like, "Yo, since you such a good dancer, you should battle me." I was just like, "Bro, you really don't want the sauce," so I just stayed quiet. Like, I was just in my mind, like, you don't want the sauce. Like, you're gonna make me late for my classes. I'm just trying to chill today. I'm just chilling. He kept going. As soon as we got off the bus, I was like, all right, bro, right here. Drop my bag. We got taken to the principal's office. The dance battle never even took off, which is the crazy part. So I guess they thought we were gonna fight because we were squared up. So maybe they thought we were gonna fight, but no, we was about the dance battle. So they took us to the principal's office, and they finally let us go. So I ended up late for class anyways. But then we did battle later on that day, and I won, of course, because like I knew that I put in more work and more time. I had more passion. But yeah, just to answer your question in short, I started my dance training just wherever I could dance, at home, on the streets, in my reflection, in the window at home, or in the hallway of an apartment building. And one thing that helped my training at the very beginning was YouTube. I did watch a lot of YouTube, not tutorials so much, but a lot of YouTube dance videos from like some of the OGs and popping and animation. It's really difficult to find quality hip hop tutorials and whatnot on YouTube because a lot of it's really whack. But you can find some great popping tutorials, animation tutorials, and so on and so forth. So that's where I started my dance training. And the next question was very similar, also from Stacy, was where did I start my skate training? So with that one, it's also self-taught. I did try YouTube tutorials, but they don't work for me. They're too slow and I get really anxious, and I like to learn faster and challenge myself. And sometimes they just weren't clear because whenever you slow certain skating moves down, it does not translate into a real world whenever you're like actually putting it into play. So what I would do is I would put my skates on. The biggest part of my growth when it comes to skating and translating my dance skills and abilities to wheels, it was skating every day. Nothing else really mattered. It didn't matter what videos I watched, if I did tutorials. The most important thing was that I skated every single day. I started skating last May. So like May 1st of 2021, I started skating. And for the first like 2 or 3 months, I skated every single day, a minimum of 4 to 5 hours. Now, I know that's not realistic for everybody. And I didn't do that because I was like, no, I want to get better. Like I did want to get better, but I did it because it was just fun. Having fun allowed me to skate longer, which allowed me to progress a lot faster than some others. So, yeah. We got any other dance questions? Those were good. Those were good. Those were good. All right. Word. Well, if we don't got any other dance questions, again, I want to say thank you so much for joining me here on The Movement. Why? Because it's not about the movement. It's about what the move meant. I'm your host, Melvin AC Howell. Oh, how dare I not keep y'all posted? Y'all gonna take the time out of your day, out of your life to come rock with your boy. I gotta make sure that I give y'all some of the updates. Let me give y'all the tea. So, this Saturday is actually my birthday. I'm turning 28, October 15th. And I was like, you know what? For my birthday, I want to give back. So I wrote 3 books, all dance related. So one book is on how to become a great and better dance teacher. So that's super niche, right? It's not for everybody. The other two books, one is about vulnerability and why it is our greatest strength, because that's something that I talk to people about all the time, and I still notice that people do struggle with that still, and sometimes I have my walls up too. I'm not even going to front. So I was like, you know what? Let me write a book about it. And then I wrote a book about how to become a confident dancer and a more confident dancer, a better performer, so on and so forth. They all drop on my website, hasdancecamp.co. That's HAS dancecamp.co. This Saturday, October 15th at midnight, they drop, along with the audiobook versions, because sometimes we're on the go. I don't always have time to read actual books. Sometimes I just don't have the time because I'm always moving, always dancing, traveling. So sometimes I like to listen to the audiobook versions, and I have those as well. And on top of that, I have an online course. The first will actually be live. So if you're interested in learning how to become a better and more confident dancer and learn these foundations from yours truly, no matter where you're at in the world, you can do that virtually through that online course, which again will post to hasdancecamp.co this Saturday, October 15th, at a discount. Because it's my 28th birthday, it'll be for $28. So let's go. But the thing that I'm super, super duper excited about, y'all, is I'm starting my own dance convention. I love dance so much, and I want to reach more people. And I know that a lot of people like coming to my classes and they want me to teach more, but I just don't have the time to spread myself that thin to teach all these people at all these different times. So I'm starting a dance convention, which actually starts next month, the weekend of November 11th through the 13th. Now, if you pre-register for this dance convention this Saturday on October 15th, you'll get a $50 discount towards your registration, and you'll get an extra bag of goodies when you arrive to the convention. The convention will actually take place here in Asheville, so especially if you're local or you're surrounding, like Marion, Morganton, Greenville, South Carolina, close bordering Tennessee, come on over. Let's dance. I got some incredible instructors, including myself, but I got some incredible instructors from jazz, street jazz, tap, amazing contemporary. I have this amazing contemporary duo coming to teach class just for this convention. They're great, great friends of mine, and they're actually going to be on the next week's episode of The Movement. They've choreographed for stars like Moses Sumney. They've choreographed for Sylvan Esso. They've choreographed for so many people, and they're always traveling the world. So I'm super grateful that I have the honor of having them come teach at the dance convention. So the dance convention is called Movement Con. This Saturday, October 15th. Make sure you keep watch on my social media, because I'm going to keep posting and keep talking about it. It's happening. Make sure you register, because there's very limited spots. I want to start off small, intimate, and make it super duper fun. Make sure you sign up this Saturday. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing, amazing day, week, month, rest of this year. I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Movement. Why? Because it's not about the movement, it's about what the move meant. If you like this episode, please do me a huge favor by leaving me a 5-star review. And if you're not already, please go ahead, subscribe to the show, and share it with a friend, because I'm providing this valuable perspective so that you can level up as an aspiring dancer. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next Wednesday on The Movement.